G'day to you out there in GameFace land. Hope you're enjoying yourselves watching another show, another episode of SFNL Division 3. Can't wait to crack into this one. We are live to you at GameFace HQ. This is Studio 1 and I am Russell Robertson, and I'm delighted to bring you a great show because we've got Mick Russborough in the studio from Ashwood. How are you, Mick?
Yeah, I'm good, mate.
Good to see you in here. The Woods turning around some of the top stories for you. Cracking contest between Clayton and Hampton and a big win for Endeavour Hills. I've already introduced Mick Russborough, the coach of Ashwood. Let's go now to the other guys on the panel. How are you, Will?
Yeah, not bad for the other guy. How about yourself?
Yeah, the other guy. You're always the other guy. No, absolutely not. Not around here at GameFace HQ, mate. You're the big dog. And big dog, speaking of big dogs, the man up the end there, Jackson Fry, who just slots himself nicely into the Hampton Park backline now and dominates every week. It's hard to keep him out of that team of the week, Mick. Welcome to you, mate. Ashwood, how's things going down there, mate?
Better this week.
Yep.
We had a rough week against Endeavour Hills. Last game they turned it on and gave us a bit of a touch-up. We went down by over 100 points, and then this week we were at Blackrock, who beat us by 5 goals round one. And we turned it around, kept them to 2 goals. We got kicked 13 and had a good win. So, a week's a long time in footy, as everyone says, but it was pretty surprising how we turned it around in a week with keeping Blackrock to 2 goals. That was out.
How'd you do that? How'd you sell the story to the boys?
Well, the leaders, actually, I thought last week, our leaders, assistant coaches, reserves coach and our leadership group were real positive at training, which was good. Yep. We kept it upbeat. We got a couple of back. We've had a lot of injuries throughout the club and good players out. And, we decided to give guys certain roles. I think, when guys come up from the twos, they come up and they try and get their 30 kicks and do all that and be best player they are in the twos. And we decided to put guys in different roles, spoke to them, and we're a lot better beyond the footy. That was the main thing. Beyond the footy, we're excellent.
You mentioned a couple of the injuries. Let's talk about a couple of guys that you've had out throughout the year. I mean, obviously, you've a couple of difficulties to start the year, bit stop-start. Tell us about a few of the guys you've had out so far.
Well, Jake Chapman, our captain's played 2 games, got hurt first 5 minutes, round 3.
Big loss.
He's
Massive
one
loss.
of the best players
Yeah,
at the
he's
top.
a
He's against Cerberus. And you don't want to be over 6'1" at Ashwood. We've had our 3 ruckmen all out injured. Chris Myers, our full forward, got injured 2 weeks ago against Hampton Park. I think he lasted about 2 minutes.
He was done in the first contest.
Yeah, he was done.
Yeah.
That was it. It was ice on the ankle. And so he's been out. And then Jackie Harris last week, our centre forward, ruckman actually fell awkwardly on his hand and split the webbing in his hand. And
Geez, you're not taking much of a trick, eh?
He had plastic surgery, and then Brad Hempel, their ruckman, got a crook foot during the week. So we chucked Geordie in the ruck, and it works.
So Mick, you're on to your 3rd club as coach. You coached at Taronga Malvern and Sandown, now Ashwood. I'll ask you a quick question. You've coached reserves and seniors. How do you find the difference between the two?
Obviously, seniors, you coach at the club and you're working out structures and team rules and all that. When I coached 2s at Taronga Malvern, I was still playing, so the game plan was kick it to me. So that was about all we did, kick it to me or my brother. And but in the 2s, what we found back then, it was early 2000s, was really important to get a bond with the guys in the 2s blokes. And what we did, which used to work, back then it was a bit one-sided, a lot of games, so we used to throw it around. The guys that did their job in the back line when we played a lower term, we used to put them on a ball, do that sort of stuff. But 2s, and we had a rule which I still like now, that you had to hang around till half-time in the seniors
that's
and
great.
have a few beers. And guys need a couple of beers sometimes, have a chat to the coach, which is always a good thing. So I did that.
That's fantastic. Yeah, I like that rule.
Yeah, so that was good. And to do with beers. It's normally all right, local footy.
Abuse a few of the senior players, as guys been known to.
Well, a few reasons,
a few halfway through the last quarter used to say, I'm better than him.
Absolutely. Mick, how much is it, being a senior coach, you look at the top levels and you even look in the AFL and you go, well, that's how modern day football's played. But how much of it is that, or do you just coach to the players that you've got, the cattle that you've got out in the ground?
Well, I have to coach different than Hampton Park coached. When you get injuries, and it's the same as Doveton a couple of years ago, you came in and a few other players. The year before, Doveton ran here and then went through the roof. So, it's changing. I still like to have a little bit of local footy in it. Obviously, a lot of people give you ideas about AFL and you watch enough games and you bring plans in. But I tend to like, a bit more local footy. Obviously, we haven't got the skill level.
Yeah.
So I'm a believer if the more you use the ball, more chance to turn it over. So
yeah, 100%. You've enjoyed a reasonable bit of success in the last few years. It was a grand final appearance. I think it was 2016.
Yeah, got hold of us.
They were a very good side that year, but finals again last year. Give us a rough idea in your sort of estimation whereabouts the side sits in the context
Ashwood?
of Division 3 season. Yeah.
Well, this is my 5th year, so senior coach. So we ran into a couple of good teams, no doubt. Mount Waverley didn't lose a game. Dufferin beat us in the final, and then won the grand final. They were real good. That was a cracking game, actually, down at Cheltenham. The footy clubs, we don't pay a lot in players because they're trying to grow their juniors. The club's got new lights. They're getting a new scoreboard in the next 4 weeks.
Oh, happy days.
Beautiful.
We've had a few issues with scoreboards.
Have we? Oh, yeah, 1 point.
And Sky hesitant. I've seen the scoreboard was wrong in that game.
In the Interleague as well.
Yeah, in Interleague.
So, Ashwood, they've got 11 junior sides, I think, at the moment, girls' team. So
that's amazing.
I reckon the club in the next few years will be taking leaps and bounds. And, footy, it's hard with sponsors and all that. So, in that sort of thing. But I think our juniors over the next few years will take Ashwood up. Good bunch of people, don't it?
Yeah, 100%.
And you're dividing your time up as a senior coach because you're looking after the older boys, obviously, but you've got to really develop those young kids too, don't you? So as a head coach, you're overseeing everything. You said it before, reserves coach, you could probably get away with a lot less.
Yeah, what we did this year, Nick Morrie's come on board. He's a young fella from Mount Waverley. He's only 25, 26. Yep. So he's doing a lot of the training drills, probably all of them, he'll say, and working a bit with Paddy Carroll. And I've done a lot of one-on-one work. So talking to players, trying to find out where they want to play, all that sort of thing. So as a coaching group, the guys like it. So it's working well.
Speaking of Paddy Carroll, one of the absolute stars of this competition, how important is he to the side? Obviously coming across from Oakley District last year and shitting it in the league medal. How important is he to the structure?
Well, he won the league medal by how many? 12?
Oh, plenty.
More.
Yeah.
I think.
Daylight second.
I think Paddy said on the night he should have won by 15. So,
so he's modest.
Humble.
He's modest. No, Paddy's great. Excellent player. When him and Ryan both came over to play with Dale. Dale was captain of the club at that stage. Basically spoke to Paddy, what do you want to do? Midfield. He helps with training, he helps with plans. Excellent player. So, yeah, he's big for us, for sure.
He, obviously, with Interleague this year, he's been a big part of the SFNL setup for the last 3 seasons. BOG 1 year. And
Mark of the Year.
Yeah, Mark of the Year. Got on the footy show with that one. Show. So, obviously, no Division 2, 3 or 4 players selected. Was he a little bit salty about his omission? Or
no, I didn't mention it to him because I thought I might have lost him if he got picked. I didn't want to mention, but he's got a couple of pairs of shorts and socks already, probably 4 jumpers, so...
It was a good night that night at the league medal, Mick. I know I was sitting on the table next to you. You were pretty excited when he got the nod to win.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, we didn't back him, but we weren't as excited as the Hampton Park full forward in the twos.
Dylan Hasley.
He was unreal. Yeah. He made the night. A couple of shoeys.
Yeah, he did. He had a shoey out of his boot that he won for the Division 3 reserves goal kicking. That was probably the highlight of the night.
Yeah, he went from Divi 3 to Tony Lockett in 25 minutes. That was entertaining.
That was good.
That was fantastic.
That was a great night.
You're talking about footy club vernacular. The old shoey. Everyone at a footy club.
Especially out of a trophy too. The golden boot, the leading goal kicker, and it was shaped as a shoe, and it was just perfect for him.
That is magnificent.
Nice and clean.
Speaking of which, who's normally who takes the 3 votes in all your club functions?
Well, there's a few.
I
try and stay away. I try and stay away from them, mate. I'm too old now. So the boys. They're having a bit of a get together this Saturday night. Jeremy Nelson plays his 150th game.
He's a character.
Great bloke. Yeah, he's actually coached the twos the last 2 years, and then this year he's playing. And once I think the boys are going into Richmond to have a beer with him after, so that should be fun. I'm not going. I'm playing golf Sunday, so I'll stay away from that.
Yeah, very nice.
Nice and
well done to you, Jeremy, on 150 games. Spot on, man.
You love the clubs that always say that, look, we play hard together, but we party hard together. That's the most important thing.
You know what the true answer is, Robbo, so I don't need to lie there. Just let it go.
Anyway, let's have a look at that game that you played against Blackrock. You defeated the boys 2-7-19. You said off at the start of the show they only kicked 2 goals, which is a fantastic effort. They obviously played defensively really well. 13-8-86, mate. Big turnaround for Ashwood after 2 big losses and, of course, getting done by Blackrock early doors. Must be happy, mate.
Yeah, it was, as I said, to come off 120 points and defeat the week before, where Endeavour Hills were just outstanding, to be honest.
They're a bloody good side, to be honest.
They kicked goals from everywhere they ran. They did all the unrewarding stuff. They blew us out of the park. We got a couple back. We're still injured. We had 3 blokes around this week. We got a couple back in the back six. Justin, my fullback's a good player. Shep hasn't played for a few years, come back in, and behind the ball we're real good and we structured well and held them up. Yeah. And if you hold them up and they can't get the ball in quick, your chance to stop scoring, and we did that. So real pleased.
Good. So you finished 4th last year, Mick. Is that the aim again? Obviously, to play finals only in a 16 comp.
Well, we would have finished 3rd, but they let Hampton Park in the division side. No, we finished 4th.
Bit of a clip there.
No, they're good Hampton Park, good boys. No, Endeavour Hills beat us pretty easy in the finals. To be honest, last year we were the 4th best side, and that's where we finished. And
obviously hopeful of finals again this year.
With close. 6 teams in it, we might only have to win 8 games to make it. So who knows? We'll just try and win as many games as we can and see where we end up.
The key thing, the thing I wanted to ask, Ashwood Blackrock, 5 goals in it, round 1. 6 weeks later, what changed?
Well, defensively, but Blackrock blew us away round 1. They kicked 5 or 6 goals in the first 15 minutes. A couple of the recruits got off the chain. There's no footy record, mate, so you don't really find out who's playing for anyone until
you can find out on
10 minutes.
GameFace.
We got on that. But, I don't want to throw me phone like I can throw the footy record. You got to be careful. But
expensive to fix.
They blew us away early. They led by 6-7 goals. We played okay after half time, and again that day Blackrock kicked 17-4. They were on. Played well.
Now, a team that's probably...
17-4.
That's right. A team that's probably got a lot to play for because they've had some disappointments over the last few years, Jacko, would be in Endeavour Hills, and they are playing some fantastic football at the moment. They've defeated Hampton Park. They defeated Hampton Park. Endeavour Hills, Cerberus, only 2 goals for them as well. Endeavour Hills, 27-22, 184. I mean, that's a massive score in anyone's book.
That is huge. You're right. They're playing some tremendous footy. Jared Morella kicking 9 goals. He doesn't miss too many, does he, Mick?
No, the week before he kicked 6 or 7 against us.
Very straight
he's playing well.
Very good set shot for goal.
He's got a few mates down there in Endeavour. They're going well.
Oh, yeah. And the really scary thing I found for Endeavour Hills, the amount of players that they've still got to come back in. I mean, Nathan Strom's still missing. He copped a heavy hit against the Close a few weeks back. Ruckman Crutchley, Phil Ward, who's come across from Hallam. He's a star, and young Sammy DeLossa. So there's plenty of talent still to come back.
Yeah, we play them this week, Will, at Hampton Park. That's probably match of the round, you'd have to say, first, second.
We'll absolutely get to that one and dissect that one in a minute. But let's talk about Cerberus just quickly, Mick. Good bunch of blokes down there.
Oh, fantastic.
You've been well looked after when you've gone down there with those boys before. Yep. Only 2 goals, and it's been a tough year for them so far.
Yeah, talking to their coach and a few of their players, as I said, we played a Anzac weekend. They looked after us unbelievable down there. Every player... Water person trainer got a medal for the weekend. Wow. They put on the best spread you've ever seen. And they got a few blokes that they won the flag last year and are playing this year, and they're playing a few blokes only playing a handful of games. So they're doing it tough, but when you play down there, geez, they look after you, and they go hard at the footy. I'm telling you,
they go hard. They definitely going hard. So straight lines.
They'll improve, and it's a ripper to play down there.
You're not that going. You think they're going to be fine into the future. And the other game there, running is out Clayton versus Hampton Park. Clayton 10, 3-6-3 defeat. Hampton Park 14-6-90. That's not right. You've got this wrong on the sheet here. It's defeated by Hampton Park 14-6-90. Well done to Hampton Park. Just on fire at the moment, aren't they?
They are undefeated for a reason. They're doing very, very well. But you know what? Full credit to Clayton. They had a pretty good game. They were 3 points. In it at the final change, and obviously Hampton Park 6 goals to 1 in the final term to steal the win. How did you see it, Jacko?
Yeah,
obviously a bit of a fright there.
Clayton come to play at their ground. Always a physical, tough game there. They kicked the first 3 goals of the game in the first 5 minutes, and a few of our blokes were like, "Oh," because we beat them by 140 points round 1, and a few guys probably thought we were just going to show up and knock them off. Wasn't to be. They've obviously got a lot of guys in from that game, Will. But we were able to answer the call. Juzzy Hill, our coach, really put it on us at 3/4 time. This is a great chance to respond and kick the first 6 of the last quarter. I think they got one late, so 6 goals to 1. Run out a 27-point win, but a few sore bodies, few green cards. The game had it all. And as we were speaking about last week, Robbo, we all went in for a beer, and the hospitality at Clayton was A1. They put on food.
Yeah, they're good.
Really good. Their twos coach did one of the funniest speeches I've ever heard.
Really? How good is it? Yeah, you can't mention much of it here.
Oh, it was hilarious. There was probably 50 people in the room.
It's like a comedy for 15 minutes.
Yeah, he was good. He's probably had 10 cans. He gets up and does his report. So,
Clayton, the game.
Clayton are a good side, and they'll be tough to beat come finals time. So
that's one of I stepped away from footy for a couple of years, and you go about your normal life. And then I came back into it. And, first training session I had with one of my mates who asked me to come down and play a game with him. And I reckon I've copped about 4 or 5 fines in the on the Thursday night training session dinner before the game. And walked out of there $50 lighter in the pocket. But you just sort of go, that's better. I feel good now.
Yeah, for sure.
That's the best thing about footy clubs. Just getting together.
I had to bring my checkbook to training.
Yeah, you would, yeah. Clayton boys, I mean, that's the real story at the moment, isn't it? Because tough couple of years. Confidence is a big thing, isn't it?
Oh, for sure. Well, they went Divi 1 finals. They played against Trongmont a few years ago, and they didn't win a game Divi 1, didn't win a game Divi 2. And they won their first game against us, Ashwood. So they were pretty happy that game. There's a few people that have been there. Especially Gilmore there. Yeah. He's been there.
Jaden Gilmore, yeah.
He kicked 4 or 5 against us.
38 straight losses, I think it was.
Yeah,
and you're right, they played Divi 1 finals under Nick Scanlon. They were a very good team.
I was at the game against East Melbourne when they lost the finals.
Yeah.
No, they're playing good. They're real hard to beat at home.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, it's a different sort of ground as well, which they play particularly well.
Quite narrow, very long, and they like it in tight there.
I hope they don't like Ashwood's ground.
Narrow and long, just like your good self, Jack. Moving on to the ladder after round 4. Those two teams on the top there, that is going to be a cracking game, Nick. Hampton Park versus Endeavour Hills. Look at the percentages there, 255 and 263 respectively. And Clayton obviously slotting in there to third. We'll move on now to Division 3, team of the week. Anything to add to that ladder there, though?
Actually, I might just get your thoughts. Sitting fourth, you comfortable with where the side's sitting at the moment? You reckon you could sort of move up a little bit higher?
This week's pretty critical for us. If we get to 3-4, and I don't count we're going to beat Service the next week, obviously, but the next couple of weeks we've played 6 games. We've only played 2 at home, even though we've lost them. But you think at home we can change that around, So the next few weeks for us pretty cool. We get a couple back after the bye. We'll probably get 5 back after the Queen's birthday.
Yeah, so that'll be awesome.
Yeah, the next couple of weeks, if we can jag a couple of wins there and put a bit of pressure on Clayton. Look, obviously at the moment, Hampton Park and Endeavour.
Yep.
That you only got to make it to be a chance.
Now, Mick, obviously your club, you'd know this very well. Yep. The Division 3 Team of the Week, hotly contested by all the players. That you'd be getting feedback from the boys. They didn't make it, they did make it. Who should be in there, who shouldn't. It all lies on his shoulders, really, at the end of the day. So if anyone's got any grievances, speak to Will.
Well,
are you on the GameFace, man?
Jacko's name doesn't move, I know that.
First thing he says when he walks in,
set up back.
Put me in.
He's cut on the board. He goes all right. If he played for me, I wouldn't move his magnet.
I'll give him one job, mate. Give us a team of the week. The first thing he does is take his crayon out the box and Jackson Fry and send half back.
That is not true. I'll start from the back pocket. Jackson Philpin played a great game on Jaden Gilmore. Darcy Kingsbury, he was terrific for Clayton, one of their best. And Ash Pozzo, who played on Nathan Carver and kept him very quiet.
The half-back line, Corey Jury from Blackrock. He's veteran.
Like a fine wine.
Just keeps getting better. The Penfolds Grange, Jackson Fry at Hampton Park. Yeah, it goes right. Nathan Reid, Endeavour Hills. He's absolutely shooting the lights out for Endeavour Hills. They one of the standout sides in this competition, obviously.
Centre line, Ryan Pearson. He was dominant on the weekend. Best on ground. For Hampton Park, Corey Phillips, our co-captain, he had a great game. And Chris Morrison, he's a terrific player for Clayton. I don't think he's missed a team so far.
He's been the best 5 games.
Yeah, he's been very good.
He could be in calculations for the league medal if they win enough games. He's a star. Don't worry about that. Half forwards, Travis Davis from Hampton Park. James Feather from Ashwood kicked 4 goals on the weekend, 3 in the first half. Is that correct?
Yeah, we as I said before, we had a few tools out, and Feathers played a little bit forward last year. Played a little bit forward when he played at Hampton, so we threw him forward and he kicked 4 in the first half, and it paid off. And I think they were calling him Duck at half time. So the boys, he's a good, honest player, Feathers, and had a good game, so which deserves his spot.
Oh, 100%, great to see. And you were just chatting to us off air and saying that come Thursday night is Wallet might be losing a little bit of weight.
Yeah, no doubt. A few of the boys said, they'll blame me for putting him there. They think they're going to hear about it all week. So.
Love it.
Very good. And Chris Grove on the other flank as well. The great game.
Yeah, he's a good year, Groves. Played wing, half forward. Played attacking. Played really well in the wing and attacked late for us. Kicked a couple of goals. His run's really good. So.
He's very quick. I remember playing against him at Hampton. He's
had a good year for us. So Saturday was one of the reasons we won for sure.
Forward line, Jesse Henderson, resting ruckman. He played well for Clayton. Jared Morella off a 9-goal haul, and Tom Gillies from Endeavour Hills as well in the forward pocket.
I don't mind seeing a resting ruckman in the forward pocket. So
great battle between Henderson and Bain on the weekend. Bain probably got the nod because he dominated in the last quarter, but it was a good hit out between those two ruckmen.
And of course we have Bain in the number one ruck spot, narrowly shading Henderson, who we just simply could not leave out and was good enough to make the side. Paddy Carroll, we spoke about him. He is just one of the great players in this competition, and he's just taken it to another level this year. He's been in excellent form.
Yeah, I don't think he's played quite as well as last year, to be honest. He said that to me early, but Saturday was his best game. The way he brought blokes into the game on Saturday with his handball, and his decision making was real good to kick it on the outside, and he's a leader for Ashwood, and obviously one of the best players in the comp.
Again, another chat we were having just off camera. You were saying that the standard Division 3's improved dramatically in your time there, and a lot of the ex-Division 1 players are now coming back, which is great. Do you find that Paddy Carroll, being one of those ex-Division 1 stars, he's just sort of, I guess, almost on a different level to a few of the other players with his just awareness and ability to read the play and
I think
all that sort of stuff?
Same as Shannon Edward from
Hampton
Park. I said last year they were the best two players in the comp.
By far.
Probably with Daniel Batson, throw a few others in there.
Yeah.
I think Jake Chapman's
He's
up there.
And Ryan Pearson also for us.
Yeah, he's come from Oakland District.
Yeah, and he won a couple of beanouts at Doveton in the old South East comp. So, yeah, you're right, Will.
I remember just on Divi 3, Gav Marty came back and played a couple of years ago. He played at Secunda City, and he actually said to me halfway through the year, the standard, he thought, geez, this is a lot better than he thought Divi 3 was going to play. Robert come back and played, and there's some good players running around. It's getting stronger and stronger, which is good.
Yeah, brilliant, making it harder and harder to pick a Division 3 team of the week, that's for sure. And the rover, Corey Ladson from Endeavour Hills.
And rounding out the bench for the team of the week, we've got Jess Helms from Blackrock, Geordie Van Killen, one of Mixed Boys, Daniel Strom, Endeavour Hills, and Jim Hines from the Navy Boys.
Well done, boys, and a big shout out to all the centre half backs in the league. We will get you in there one week, we are sure. It's just when he doesn't show up, you might be a chance. Let's move on now to round 7. Football is upon us. The fixture, Ashwood are taking on Clayton. Boys, I'm going to go from you, Jacko, all the way back down to Will. To give me a tip, Ashwood, obviously hosting Clayton. I know you're going to go for Mick, but you can give us the reason why. We'll start with you, Jacko, though.
Yeah, this is going to be a great game. Obviously, Clayton got Ashwood by 10 points early in the year, but after the weekend, I'm going to tip Mixed Boys in this game. I think at home they'll be similar margin to the first game, but in the Magpies' favour.
What do you reckon, mate? So you've got how are you going to beat the boys from Clayton without giving too much away?
We've got to start better. The first 2 rounds. We didn't start well enough, and Clayton got us. We're 6 goals down.
Yep.
As said, we're 6 goals down, 10 minutes in the third quarter. Flashed home, got within 4 points, and then they kicked the last goal. So we're going to start better and keep the footy off them forward to 50. That's a.
You agree with that, Will?
Yeah, 100%. I think they'll reverse the result, the Woods, and narrowly get over the line. It'll be a close one, but I think the home ground advantage will suit you guys. So Ashwood for mine.
Will always goes for the.
Yeah, I know that. I'll pick Ashwood Blackrock.
Moving on to the next game, Cerberus. They'll be hosting Blackrock. Jacko, how are you seeing it?
Unfortunately, I think this will be quite one-sided. I'm going to tip Blackrock to bounce back. They've had a few lean weeks, but hopefully it's a close one. But the Jets for me, Robbo.
Yep.
I reckon Blackrock copped a few injuries. They've had a few on the bench. Their coach.
Yep.
Might be a close one.
Didn't play the last bit. Spawn didn't play, so. I think Blackrock should win, but they might have a few out. And I tell you, Cerberus, you take them light, they go hard at the footy.
Yeah,
so
right.
You let them get their confidence up, you never know.
I reckon if Cerberus are going to win the game, this would probably be a really good opportunity for them to do so. From what you're saying, they've got Blackrock at a good time, and you know what? Bugger it, I'm going to go Cerberus.
I wouldn't be surprised. Blackrock only beat Service by 14 points.
They go hard at it.
I reckon they're just about chewing on their home deck. Yeah, I'll go Cerberus.
Tell you what, Will.
It'll be a good party if they win.
Yeah, right.
Worst day.
We're not have to get an over down there.
It will be a hard-hitting game, so you'd like to watch the game of football, and you'd like to have a beer with him after the game too.
For sure.
Will, this league, this division, there's been some great games, but this round looks fantastic, doesn't it? The first game looks great.
They're all going to be close.
Second game looks great, but this one is going to be an absolute corker because it's involving the two teams at the top of the ladder, obviously Hampton Park and Endeavour Hills. The boys from Hampton will be hosting those boys from Endeavour Hills. And Jacko, obviously you're going to go for your boys, but how do you get over the top of such a good team?
Well, this is going to be a very tough game. Obviously Endeavour Hills got us on the bigger ground in the prelim final last year. We were lucky to get them round 2, I think, by about 10 points. Our captain, inspirational leader, Shannon Henwood's unfortunately done a hamstring, so he won't be playing. He's without doubt probably our best player. And it's going to be a tough game, Robbo. We know they'll bring the heat. We obviously want to get a 2-game gap on them if we're able to win. So it's a bit of an 8-point game, but no, we're confident we can get the job done. Not by much, so I think it'll be very close.
Mick, how are you seeing this one, mate? Tough one to call, isn't it?
Oh, for sure. I got a feeling in Endeavour Hills. I think Hampton Park's just got a couple of injuries, and Endeavour Hills are flying. They played last week as
really
good as
well.
I've seen, but you don't win the flag in May. So
no, that's right.
I still think Hampton Park's the team to beat, but Endeavour, it's probably their chance, I reckon.
Yeah, they won the last game, the corresponding fixture last year, which we called on at 8.3 Southern FM.
2 points they got us by.
Happy to say that we'll be live streaming this, the GameFace live matches around this week down at Hampton Park. So keep an eye out for that and watch that live on.
I'll make sure the hospitality's A1. We're going to look after the GameFace
boys.
Down
at Hampton Park.
Oh, you'd never get a bad spread down at Hampton Park. Give you the tip.
Couple of bars.
Yeah, it'll be big night if they can get over the top of Endeavour Hills. Yeah, you're right. It'll be very, very close. I'll tip Hampton Park in a thriller.
If you don't have the GameFace app already, make sure you download that as soon as you possibly can, because you can catch up on a lot of football action right across the leagues. It is a fantastic app, and it's all about football, the game that we absolutely love. That's been the show, boys. Thanks very much, Mick Rossborough, the coach of Ashwood, coming down and chatting with us. It's been absolutely fantastic hearing about your boys and where you're headed. Thank you, and good luck to you on the weekend.
Thanks, mate. Good on you. Thanks, boys.
No worries.
Pleasure to have you.
Good on you, Robert.
Bucky, the winter soldier up there. Yeah, how are you, Bucky?
Big game this week. No, we're looking forward to it, Robbo. We love footy, so
good on you, mate. Good luck to you as well, and as always, Will, great to be next to you, calling these shows every week.
Mate, pleasure to have you as well. You do a fantastic job, and I don't tell you enough.
No, you don't tell me enough. That has been the GameFace Footy Show for the SFNL Division 3. Good luck to you boys on the weekend. Good luck to all the boys out there playing football and girls anywhere in football land. We'll be back next week to bring you more action from the SFNL Division 3. Bye.